Hello to all my 4th grade friends in the Mound Westonka School District. It is I, Mr. Brett. This now is week 3 in our 4-week dive into the world of water. Week 1, we talked about of all the water that's on the planet, just how much is there for us actually to use. Week 2, we wandered around our neighborhood looking for water and seeing where it was moving to and from. Today, we're going to talk a little bit more about that and just get an idea of where is the water on the planet and how does it move around. Now, to help me out, we got a whiteboard here with the drawing, and on it are some things that maybe you recognize. This is the water cycle. Sure. All right, let's start over here with our lake, river, stream, some sort of point where water collects. All right, over time, water evaporates. It goes from being a liquid to a gas. We talked about that in 2nd grade. Heads up into the air. Once the water is in the air as a gas, that is the water highway. It starts to move, but when it does get cold enough, it goes from being a gas back to a liquid through the process of condensation. It makes those big old white poofy clouds. When the clouds get heavy enough with that moisture, we see it come down back to the earth in the form of precipitation. That might be rain, that might be sleet, it might even be snow like we've been seeing this week. When it hits the ground, some of it does sink down into the soil. Some of it just runs smooth right off back down a hill because of gravity into another collection point, river, stream, lake, ocean, wherever it happens to fall. The stuff that ends up in the ground, some of that is going to get pulled back up, absorbed into the tree. The tree is going to use that for photosynthesis. However, some of it is going to be lost. You're like, wait, Mr. Brett, what's that weird word there? Transpiration. When you breathe, we call that respiration. Transpiration is the tree breathing. It lets some water out so that carbon dioxide can come in so it can continue making food. Other water that's not pulled back up into plants falls farther down into the ground, eventually becomes groundwater, which in Minnesota, this is where we get a lot of our drinking water. And some of that groundwater does come back up into these collection spots, the lakes, the streams, through springs. There's no way for the water to get out of this. There's no way for new water to come in. What's here is here, meaning we can't just make more water. To get a better idea of where the water is actually sitting and to think about maybe why, I've got an activity for you. All right, so this activity is called the Incredible Journey. And what's going to happen is you are going to track where a water molecule goes as it travels throughout the water cycle. For this, you are going to need 3 dice. If you can collect them from different games around the house, just make sure you put them back where you found them. No one likes to open up the game of Yahtzee to only find 2 of the 5 required dice, so don't do that. If you're like, well, Mr. Brett, I don't have dice. If you go to the website that's on the screen, random.org, there is a random dice rolling generator, amongst other things on there, completely free, but we're going to do this with 3 dice. So now what happens is you're going to roll the dice. You're going to add up the totals on each of the 3 faces. Let's say we roll a 2, a 3, and a 4. The grand total on that is... That's right, number 9. So you look on the chart here, you're like, well, wait, where? And you want to pause the screen, you could look at this or write this down in your own. Number 9 falls in this 8 to 12 here, means you are a water molecule in the clouds. All 9 places are places where we see water in the water cycle. All of them we kind of talked about, maybe except for the animals. And if you think about it, you know how water enters and exits an animal. You're going to do this 20 times. And I want you to keep track of where was that water molecule each time. And when you're done, I want you to add up those totals and then see which one place did the water spend the most amount of time. And then I want you to think, does that make sense? Why? Why was water sitting in one place versus another? If you think about it, it will start to make sense for what we know about the planet and where we find water. Next week is going to be our last week spending in water. We're going to go back to that pond that I got a video of the week prior, and we're going to see what's in there. I'm going to collect some water, and we're going to investigate what kind of cool things are living in the ponds in our neighborhoods. Until then, until we see each other again, stay safe, be healthy, and get outside.